15, when my crush Lucia pulled me aside after chemistry class. We'd been close since 6th grades. "I need you to promise me something," she whispered, her pretty eyes not meeting mine. For a moment, I thought she was going to ask me to the dance. I'd been working up the courage for weeks, but something in her voice made my chest tighten. "Anything," I said. That's when she told me about Friday, how she'd been planning it for months. The teachers who ignored her cries for help, her parents who only cared about her grades. She'd taken her mom's firearm from the locked drawer. The next day, she was going to publicly end her life. She'd planned it all out. A live stream during 3rd period, when Ms. Lillian would be teaching, when Mr. Cole would be in the faculty lounge, when everyone who'd failed her would be watching. She'd make sure they'd see, make sure they'd carry it forever. "But not you," she said, squeezing my hand. "Don't watch. You're the only one who ever really saw me." I stood there frozen, feeling her fingers intertwined with mine, something I'd dreamed about for months, but not like this, never like this. "Lucia, you can't," I whispered. "It's the only way they'll learn," she said. "The only way things will change." That night I didn't sleep. I stared at her Instagram, scrolling through photos where her smile never quite reached her eyes. Had I missed it? The way she'd stopped eating lunch, how she wore long sleeves even when it was warm, the poems she'd started posting, beautiful but dark, so dark. I thought about Ms. Lillian, who was tough but had 3 kids at home, Mr. Cole, who was new and trying his best, the other students who'd see it happen live, the trauma that would ripple through our school like a stone dropped in still water. But Lucia trusted me. She'd held my hand. She'd chosen me to confide in. Wasn't that worth something? By the time 3 a.m. hit, I was typing and deleting texts to her. What if I was overreacting? What if she hated me forever? What if I lost the only girl who'd ever made me feel like I mattered? Then I imagined the alternative. Her empty desk in chemistry, her parents at a funeral instead of graduation, a live stream that could never be unseen, all because I stayed silent. At 5 a.m., I called the Sewerslide Prevention Hotline. They connected me to the police. My voice cracked as I explained everything. The officer's tone grew urgent, asking for details I wished I didn't have. Lucia's full name, her address, the exact time she'd mentioned. "You're saving her life," the officer said. It felt like I was ending it. They got to Lucia at 7:30 a.m., just as she was setting up her phone in her bedroom. The pills were already laid out. The note was already written. The local news called it a mental health crisis intervention. They interviewed our principal, who promised better resources, more counselors, real change. They never used our names, but Lucia knew. She didn't come back to school for 2 months. When she did, she wouldn't look at me, wouldn't answer my texts. Her new friends formed a protective wall around her in the hallways. I heard whispers that I'd betrayed her, that I'd violated her trust, that I only did it because I couldn't handle rejection. The school did change. They hired 2 new counselors, started a peer support program, trained teachers on warning signs. Everyone said I'd done the right thing, but I felt like I'd lost everything. 3 years later, on graduation day, I found a note in my locker. I instantly recognized Lucia's handwriting. What I read made my heart drop. The note was short, but each word felt like a knife twisting in my gut. "You took my choice away. You made me live when I wanted to die. Now I'm going to take everything from you, piece by piece, until you understand what it feels like to lose control of your own life."